Good morning, good afternoon and good evening wherever you are in the world. My name's Jade and this is How to App on iOS. And today we're doing a beginner's guide to using Procreate. But first, this week's featured artist is Auntie G and this is The Streets of Nashville. Auntie G there with The Streets of Nashville. Awesome stuff. She is the featured artist of this week. Hello, everybody. Welcome to How to App on iOS.com. What? Man, I've slept 3 hours. This is dumb. The Apple event got me up after 3 hours and I'm tired. I can't wait to go back to bed. All right, so this is How to App on iOS. I'm Jade, yeah, and we look at apps and do interesting things here sometimes. Fun things, I guess, yeah. Stuff, things. We've got a cool interview coming up this week, by the way. I'll mention this first, and then we'll say hello to you all. I won't forget this time. We have this person coming on who's in the chat right now. Lou Reality is coming on the show. Not coming, she'll be arriving. God, I need some sleep. Lou Reality will be coming on the show, the alluring reality of catching them all. So she will be on the show this week. Really excited about that. The next two shows we have coming up tomorrow, I'm going to be doing this. Going to be working more on my song Me and My Brain, recording some acoustic guitars if you want to come along and check that out. And then the day after we have this. We're looking at this background eraser app before Thomas's show. All good stuff. So that is coming up. And there's a really cool opening hour happening this weekend. I am doing covers of your songs. Kim, there's an email awaiting for you if you go and check it. Hopefully you can help me out. So I'll be doing a lot of songs from this community for the opening hour, and your song could be one of them. Yes, indeed. Let's say hello to everybody in the chat, and we'll get into today's app, because I know Joe Glenn is chomping at the bit. I can almost hear her frothing at the mouth, waiting for me to get into this. Kim Harden Hudson, hello. Gary Hubbs was here first because I dumped you all into the chat, into the show from the last show. Audible Video, hello to you. I didn't say hello to you last time, but I answered your questions or spoke with you. Scott Borthwick, Thomas Christ, Brian Baker. Who else? Joe and Barry Glenn. Well, Joe's here anyway. Did I say Kim? I said Kim, yes. Leela's here as well. And who else? Man, I need some sleep. Russ is here. Russ is going to learn something new today, aren't you, Russ? You're going to learn something new. By the way, there's a link up in the chat if you want to grab Auntie G's music. That's to all her streaming, so you can get it on Spotify and Apple and all that stuff. It's pinned up the top of the chat if you're watching on the replay or watching live and all that good stuff. I think have I got everybody? I've said hello to everybody. Brian Baker, yes. All right, I'm down the bottom. All right, cool. All right, today we are looking at Procreate. Go forth and procreate. I've done a show on this way back, like episode 20 or something, and I hardly really did anything on it. I've done 2 other shows where I did storyboarding for my Metheist video clips, but I never really got into a full beginner's guide on how to use the basic stuff. So we're not going to get really in depth in this today, but we're going to cover a lot of stuff you probably didn't know if you have been using it. We'll scoot over here. Now, this is all interesting because my iPad is flat today. So there's not really any updates compared to price drops from yesterday. So if you want to see those, as you can see here, DM2, there's a whole bunch of these apps here that are all on sale. There you go. They're all on sale. But we are looking at Procreate. Now, this is available on iPad and iPhone. There's a different version for iPhone. This is the iPad version we're looking at today. It's $9.99. It's an investment, but it's, as you'll see, it's very, 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 very powerful. You can do a fuckload of cool stuff with this. Hi, Jim Shannon on sounds. So as I said, there is an iPhone version of it. See if I can flick back here. And it's a bit cheaper. There it is. It's called Procreate Pocket. It's $4.99. It can do a lot of the stuff, but not all of it, yeah? But it's pretty handy to have as a companion kind of app if you're interested in that. So, shall we dive in and have a look at this? There's no in-app purchases, so once you pay for it, you've got it, and you can do with it what you want. So, today we are doing this. We have a top-down view of my iPad. And we'll be using the Apple Pencil. I have a split screen so you can see things a little bit more clearly. Let's open it up. This is what you get when you open it up. I'll go to this screen here. So this is your menu where all of your projects are saved as soon as you open it up. So you can see I've got a few projects in here that are saved. And you'll notice off the bat, so we've got individual projects like this one, which I drew, yeah? So there's a project I drew. And if I click on the gallery up the top here, so I don't have a mouse today, so we're going to have to do it this way. So up the top here with the gallery, and it's a bit blurry, sorry. I was running a bit behind time. So that was this project here. And you'll notice here, there's these other sections that have a whole bunch of images behind them. These are called stacks, right? So you can have individual images that you've been projects that you've worked on, and you can also have stacks. So if I click on this stack second from the top, there's two items in there called wart. If I click out of that, down the bottom here we have the Bigfoot stack, so a whole bunch of images that I've done in here, and another stack down here called vocal booth. These were the plans I drew for my vocal booth. So you can create these stacks and put a whole bunch of images into a folder. Here's the Metheist green screens that I did for my Metheist video clip. You can find that video on the channel and see how I did this, how I drew these green screens and used this for my Metheist video clip storyboarding. Okay, so how do you, let's talk about making stacks first. So first off, on any image, let's go over here. We'll actually use both these screens so you can see what I'm doing with my hand. So on any image, if I swipe across to the left, you get a bunch of options here. You get share, duplicate, or delete. So you can very easily do something like that from here. Just touch to get rid of it. So super easy. I can just swipe right on any of these. There's a lot of gestures in this app, yeah? Heaps of gestures. Again, swipe right, you can duplicate, share, or delete. Also, up the top here, you can hit select. And this way you can select individual things and then hit delete, duplicate, or share up the top. So you've got options, two ways of doing things. There's lots of gestures, as I said. Now to group things, let's show you how to group things. So let me just get out of this. So to group things, I'm going to click up the top here where it says we've got select. And if I hit select, it allows me to choose a whole bunch of things. So I'm going to select this one here. I'm going to select this one. And to stack them up the top here, you have stack. So if I just hit stack, it puts them all in a stack. So now when I click on the stack, all those three images are all in there. So you can hide stuff really easy, put stuff into sections and really, you know, have some order to your projects. So that's just a little bit about projects. Again, to swipe right, you can delete, duplicate, all that kind of stuff. Super easy to do that kind of stuff. Let's go back here. There isn't a free version of this, I don't think. It's only a paid version from my knowledge. Yeah. All right, so let's talk about creating a brand new project, shall we? Up in the top right-hand corner, you'll see a plus sign. Now, if I click on the plus sign, you are given this screen here, which has new canvases. So right up the top, you always have a screen size, and that will try and match the device that you're on with the exact screen size of what you're using. And you also have a whole bunch of other things here. You can see like a square, 4K, A4 with different resolutions that you can do. So you don't have to choose any of those. You can actually choose your own. And right up the top here, let me flick over here. So right up the top where this little suitcase is, if I click on this, this gives me all these options. So you can actually change the dimensions. You can put in whatever you want, whatever width you want up here with the width. And the amazing thing is you can do all this with your pencil. You don't have to actually type this stuff in. I can put 5,000 like that. And look, it actually converts it into numbers. I can put 4,000 here. I can write that stuff in, 4,000, and it changes it. So the pencil is really paramount to using this. It's really important. I mean, you're not really going to be able to use this without a pencil. It's made for that. So when you're creating a project, the DPI isn't really that important. It's super not important. The project size is the most important thing. If you're going to do like something that you're going to, a project that you're going to print up, this is kind of the DPI you want to go for. The higher the better. But remember, the higher you go and the more layers that you create in these projects, it all depends on your iPad and how much memory it has. So when things start clogging up, yeah. So it is extremely limited without a pencil. So to the right here, you've got a color profile as well. So if I click on the color profile in the top right, you will see it gives you the choice to use different colors, RGB colors, CMYK colors. So you've got a whole lot of options there. Time-lapse settings. Now, you won't need to deal with these right now, right? But you're going to see something really cool with the time-lapse later on after we finish drawing some things and creating some things. And you've also got canvas properties. So you can choose in here the automatic background color. So I've got mine set to white. So every project that I create will have a white background, or you can choose to have the background hidden. So it'll be a transparent background, good for making, you know, transparent images and all that kind of stuff. I'm going to turn that off because we don't need that. We'll go to dimensions here, and I'm going to cancel this because I'm just going to go with right now the top one, the screen size. As you can see, it's a, let's see if I can make this a bit, I don't know why it's so weird today. Normally I'm pretty good with this. Yeah, I don't know why it's so blurry. Sucks. So I'm just going to go with the screen size here, the top one. Let's just choose that. And it opens up a brand new project, white background, easy to go. I'm going to make that a bit brighter. In fact, we'll have both images on so you can actually see things a bit clearer over there. Okay, we're going to start with, so here is your background. Now, you can pinch anytime to shrink this down so you can get a better view of the whole image. And just by turning and pinching, you can shrink that down, spin it around. So if you want to, I'm left-handed, so I write really crazy. So yeah, again, you can pinch and move stuff around. Now, if you want to bring it back to the full screen size, all you need to do is just pinch together. All right, so just pinch together. We'll try it again. Whoop, like that. So it's a quick pinch and it comes back to the normal size. Whoop, quick pinch and you're done. So that brings you back. So I just love playing with that. Quick pinch and you're back. All right, let's cover the top toolbars. So from the left up the top, right-hand side, you've got paintbrushes. You have smudge, erase, layers, and your color palette. Now, just quickly, I'm going to pick black just to start off with. Let's have a look at brushes first, shall we? So when you click on your brushes, you are given a whole list of wonderful brushes here. Let me go full screen so you can kind of see them here. So you've got a recent tab up the top, and everything's put into categories. Like you can see here, sketching, inking, drawing, calligraphy, painting, artistic, airbrush, textures, abstract. Let's click through them from the top. So sketching, you can see and each of these sections has a vast number of pencils and paintbrushes. So this is inking, drawing, calligraphy, painting. So you've got oil and acrylic and stuff like that in here. Artistic, airbrushing, textures. So you can see there's like interesting textures you can draw in there as well. Abstract stuff, charcoals, elements. So like rain, clouds, smoke, that kind of stuff. Spray paints, materials. Can you design your own brushes? Yes, you absolutely can. I'll get to that in just a second. So vintage stuff, luminance, industrial, organic, water, and I've got a couple of extra ones that I've put in here as well, and it can do masking as well. So here's some extra ones I've imported because there's a lot of websites that offer free brushes as well. So this is fur and fluff. So there's a whole lot of fur and fluff for animals and stuff like that. plus this other one I have here, which is pixel art. So to do digital pixel stuff, like really old school video game pixel stuff. Let's have a look at, we'll just go into inking first. Now, when you click on one of these, I'm going to click this one of my favorite ones here, which is syrup. I'm already on it. When you click on it, you get this page open up. I'm not going to go too far into this. We'll do it in the next show that we do on when we do a bit of a deeper dive into this. But here's where you can actually go in and create your own stuff. So you've got to the left-hand side, you've got all these categories like stabilization, taper, shape, grain, rendering. You can go in and you can make anything from scratch. You can build your own things and you can draw them to the side here and test them out, the changes you make. So you can come in here, you've got dynamics and jitter, how the pencil actually reacts to this specific brush that you're creating, properties, materials. So there's a whole lot of things you can do with this, like spacing and jitter, all this kind of stuff. We'll cancel out that. So each of these brushes has this when you click on it, has all these options, and you can go in and change it. You can see this one has this type of brush up the top here, top left-hand corner. So now all of these react totally different the way you use your pencil. So what we're going to do is just go through a bunch of random things and show you how these work. So we'll go back to, where are we? We'll go back to inking. Yeah, we're on inking. We'll take this syrup one here and let me bring this screen up. So you'll notice when I draw lightly, you can see that's come out like that. But if I apply pressure, oh man, I thought I'd fix my Apple Pencil from doing that, but I haven't, clearly. When I add pressure to this, you can see it gets thicker. So if I start off really lightly and then add pressure towards the end, you can see how that changes. Now, depending on how you hold the pencil, see I'm holding it straight up right now, and I scribble. Now if I hold it to the side, it actually reacts differently the way you hold it. So we'll try a different brush just to show you something else here. So now with this one here, when I draw lightly, do it on the side, so you'll get different kind of ways from holding it. Let's try an elements one, something like this smoke. So let's do a light smoke here. Now a bit heavier. You can see how that's now on the side. You can see it's more smudged kind of reaction. So everything is all dependent on the pencils. See how that's drawing in blocks now? Let's try something else. What have we got? Vintage. So these patterned ones as well, these circles. And to the left here, this is where you can change the size of your brush. So this is your size. You can see I'm changing that there. So if I bring that right down nice and small, we're getting a completely different texture. Again, on the side, different texture, harder, lighter. And the one underneath is opacity. So when we turn this down, you get a lighter opacity. Let's try a different brush. What do we got? So we've got cool water things. Let's do a painting one. So we'll use a wet acrylic. You see that? I'm doing that very lightly, very, very lightly. Now if I do it straight up, you see it's much more pronounced. We'll bring down the brush a bit. And now when I do it very heavy, very light. So you can see that there's different things that come up from using this. Now, we've gone through a couple of brushes there just so you can see what goes on. How do you delete things? How do you get rid of things? 2 fingers. Here we're going to get into some gestures now. So if I hold down 2 fingers, you'll notice the last thing that I drew disappears. Boom, 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 boom. So you can do it that way. Or if you hold down 2 fingers on the iPad, it all goes. It all goes away. How do we bring them back? I want them all to come back. So if I take 3 fingers this time and hold them down, everything comes back. So, as you can guess, 2 fingers removes, undoes. 3 fingers brings back one at a time. Or just holding down, gets rid of them. 3 fingers held down, brings everything back. Really cool. So there's a lot of gestures to understand in here. So what I'm going to do now is create a brand new project. We're going to just move on from this. In fact, no, what we'll do, I'll show you this one as well. So these 3 fingers, if you take 3 fingers again and just do a Z shape like this. Oh, no, that didn't work. Is it like that? That's not working. I'm drawing. What am I doing? That shouldn't work. Maybe I have the gestures set up wrong. Let's undo that. 2 fingers. Boom, boom, boom. So I think I've got my gestures turned off. I can go into gestures here and change this. Where are we? Video share. Hide. We want canvas. Where are our gestures? In here. Drawing gestures. Share video. In fact, I'll show you this now. Let's do this while we're here now. So you can actually have a timeline of stuff that you do. So I'm going to click on, we're actually in the settings here, actions up the top. So when I go into actions, we have this little video thing here. If I click on video, you can create a time-lapse replay of everything you've done. Check this out. So it's done a complete time lapse of everything that I did there. So if you're drawing something from scratch, you can watch the whole thing come together with this little time-lapse video. And you can actually save this video out and send it to people or use it as a video clip. So that's really cool. I really love that. So we've got time-lapse recording on, so that's really cool. Let's jump out of here. We'll go back. So we hit the little create, go back to the start, and we'll start again, create a brand new project. And now we'll start looking at color, yeah? Oops, didn't want to do that. Choose this one. I love the time-lapse thing. It's really cool. So here we are, brand new project. We've covered brushes. So you can see all the brushes here. Let's have a look at the color palette, shall we? So up in the top right-hand corner, there's a little color palette. And this is where you're going to have all your fun, yeah? The first thing you can do is, I want to let you know, see the color palette, how it has a little bar up the top here? You can actually grab this and detach it. So you've permanently got it here to play around with, and you can change your colors really easily. And to get rid of it, you just hit the cross and it goes away. So if you're doing a lot of color changing and you don't want to keep going up here and clicking this, you can just pop that out, super simple like that. So really handy to use that. I use that a hell of a lot. Let's have a look at the options in here. So along the bottom, you have different styles of your palettes. So this is the one most people will use. And as you can see, you've got an outside rim here, which is all of your colors. And in the middle, you have brightness by going up and down. And what is this? So the tone, left and right. Right. So if I choose a yellow over here, or we can move this around, go up, down, dark. Now, there's another little feature in here which a lot of people don't really understand. And you might try and go back to white, you know, and if you move up to white, you can't always get it right on white. If you want to get a direct color, so if I want to go fully white, you just click to the close to the outer ring twice and it will go true white. True black, bang. Any color that you want true, just double tap here and it'll go true. So it saves you always trying to push to the end. There you go. So we can bring this over here. We can go true white, nice and easy. So it's really easy to do. So remember that, really cool stuff. You have another view down the bottom here. So this is our, let me bring this up here. We'll bring both screens up so you can see a little bit clearer. So this is your, this is a different view of a color palette. So you can change it this way. You can drag around if you don't want to use the actual color picker. You also have this complementary color section. We'll go deeper into colors in another episode. So you've got a whole lot of different views for colors, yeah? So plenty of different ways to, but I use this one. I think this one's pretty much the best way to go. It's the easiest way to go, in my opinion. In my opinion, of course. But how do we create a color palette? Yeah. So a color palette is, say we want to have a specific bunch of colors for a project. This is, so it's this final button there. So it's the last one down the bottom here. And here are my saved color palettes. And you have a lot of ways to create color palettes. It's quite interesting. You can hit the plus up here, right up the top, and you get these options. Create new palette. So this will be a blank palette for you to just add some colors to. Create a new palette from a camera. So you can turn on the camera, and whatever the camera is pointing at, you can create a color palette from that. You can create a color palette from a file that you import from the Files app, or even from a photo. So I can click on a photo and choose, say, this lovely picture of Leela holding the cunt cup, and look at that. It's actually added up here the color palette from that photo. That is sick. Really, really nice stuff there. Really interesting stuff. So that's just saved me. I've just chosen a photo. You know, I can do it again. We can click plus, photos. We can take this cowardly lion image here, and there's the color palette there. And it just saves it into your color palettes. But let's create a brand new color palette like this. Kim is leaving. See you later, Kim. You have to catch the rest on the replay. See you later, Kim. All right, so I'm going to create a brand new palette. So we choose create new palette, and you can see it's completely blank. There's nothing in there, just completely blank color palette. So now I'm going to go back over here to our colors, and I'm going to choose a few colors. So we're going to go over here, and I'm just going to scribble these in. I'm just going to choose a, let's choose, yeah, I think this wet acrylic will do. So what I'm going to do is just scribble a few things in here. Let's just do this. We'll go back to our color palette. Let's choose this color here. Let's scribble that in here as well. Choose something else. We'll go with a green kind of thing over here. Scribble this in. This is how I'm going to build up a color palette, yeah? So we'll take this one. We'll add that in there. Some nice bright colors we're doing right now. What about something like that? We'll lighten this or darken it. We'll lighten that up. There. We'll add that color there. We'll add in a black, of course. Let's throw in a black. That'll do for now. There we go. So we've got some colors on the screen. Now we want to add them to a color palette, and it's super, super easy. So we go over to our new color palette. As you can see, it's still blank sitting up there. And all I need to do is take my finger and hold it down, and it brings up the color dropper. So it chooses that color. So I'm going to hold down on this color, choose it, and then go in here and touch a square, and that has made my first color. Great. Let's do it again for the rest of them. So we'll hold down the eyedropper, touch in there, eyedropper, and we're building our color palette. Really easy stuff. Boom. And there is our color palette ready to go. Saved. Really good. We can now just touch between these. And if you can actually go in here, go full screen and show you can move these around. So if I hold down, you can actually move the order of them wherever you want them in place. And if you hold down on one, do it with a pencil, a little thing pops up. There it is. And you can delete them from there. So you can delete them if you want, rearrange them, all that kind of stuff. Super cool. So we have a color palette now. We don't really need these anymore. They're just to play around with. So let's cover some other things you can do with these top sections here. So we have a smudge button as well. This is the button right up here next to the paintbrush. And you have, again, your size to the left. You also have your opacity. Now what's really cool is once you're in the smudge section, you can choose a brush. So we're in the smudge section. There we go. So if you hold down on the smudge section, you can choose a brush from in here as well, yeah? So now we're using the same brush. So now I can go in and I can smudge these. I can smudge them into other colors. I can control the size of this. So I'm only smudging little bits. So smudging is really cool for color mixing, all that kind of stuff, yeah? We can smudge this black over into here. Make it a little bit bigger. Smudge that into there. So that is your smudging tool up the top there. And the second last tool we're going to look at is the eraser. So when you click the eraser, whatever brush was selected for the eraser last will be the brush that you get. So if I now just click the eraser and start erasing, so there you go, we're erasing. But if I want to maintain the same brush as what I've been drawing with, you hold down the eraser, and now it will be the exact same brush that you were using. And it's good to use the same brush that you've been using to actually paint to make it match what you're deleting, yeah? So it's important to do that. So we've covered the smudge brush now. Let's get rid of all this. Let's remove all this stuff and start drawing some things, yeah? And we'll go through the layers and we'll get into the layers. So I'm going to hold down 2 fingers. Goodbye. All of that is gone. So we can start now. Let's go into our colors and choose this one here. I'm going to go into brushes and into, what do we want? Inking. I'm going to choose the syrup because I love the syrup. And I'm going to draw a banana. I'm going to draw a banana. And I'm just going to start simple just by going like that. There we go. There's a banana. That'll do. Nice banana. Now, when you draw something, you want to try and make your edges touch. So when you close off an image, see how that's closed off and there's no gap between there? You want to close off an image like this because then you can actually fill this in really easy. Instead of going in here and having to fill all this in by scribbling like this, you can actually drag the color in from over here. So we've got our color. I can now drag this into the picture and look at that. It automatically fills. But if there was a gap in between there, that wouldn't work because it would fill the whole screen because the actual image was closed off, yeah? So there's our banana. Nice, simple banana, nothing too complicated, but we're going to need some lines on it, yeah? This is where layers come into place. So let's open up the layers and talk about layers. Now, if you've used Photoshop or anything like that, Illustrator, all these kind of things, you'll know what layers are. Now, since we've opened this project, we have a background layer. So this is our white layer. We can change this at any time just by clicking on the layer, and we can change the color of it. Why is it not changing? Why are you not changing? That's odd. Oh, that's why. So you can change the color of the layer as you like. You can go in here and change the color of it, or just go back to white. So that's really cool. You can change the color of your background super easy in your layers. And you'll see up the top here, there is a check mark next to the background layer. If I uncheck that, we now have a transparent image. So this is completely transparent, great for making GIFs, animated GIFs, because you can animate in this as well. Or images that you want to use for, like, artwork, album covers. So you can do that. And we can hit the little check mark up here to bring back the background. So we've got our white background. We've got our banana. Let's talk about the layers. So if I click on a layer here, you get a whole bunch of tools pop up. Let's make this full screen so you can see them a bit clearer. You've got rename, select, copy, fill layer, clear, alpha lock, mask, invert, and reference. Cool stuff. Now, if I click on the layer again, sorry, let's get this right. So there's our options. Also, you'll see there is a little N sitting here on the layer. If I click on this N, we get a whole bunch of other options pop down. And these are for masking. You would have seen these in like Photoshop and things like that. Darken, color burn, linear burn, normal, light, and all these kind of things. So we can multiply and all this kind of stuff. We'll cover this a little bit further as we go on. Do they do ink effects on layers? I do love blending. Yes. So man, the amount of blending on here you can do is just amazing. This thing is sick. So you can change the opacity within here as well. So I'm just changing the opacity. We'll go back to this view. So changing the opacity. We'll leave that full for now. We'll leave this on normal for now. We don't really need anything there. Right, we're going to need to add another layer because I want to draw some lines on this banana. So you've got the little plus symbol up the top to add a layer. Now, whatever layer you are selected on, so if we select this and you add another, the next layer will appear above what is selected. So for example, if I click plus, the next layer appears there. See? So to get rid of these things, you can swipe at any time and you can lock layers. You can duplicate or delete. We're just going to delete that layer for now. Right. So let's draw some lines on this. So I'm going to choose a black from here. And then we're going to go into our brushes. And I want to find some kind of textury kind of thing. Kind of like this one here. And I want to make this really small. I'll just do a test. See what this looks like. Yeah, we can give that some opacity. Let's get rid of those. Do a test. Cool, that's nice. So now very lightly, I'm just going to draw some rough lines in here. That'll do. Now we're going to just scribble this in, give it a little black top. Doesn't have to be awesome. This is, you know. So there's a banana. We've got a banana. Look at that. That's cool. There's a little banana. Right, so now those black lines are on layer 2. So if I open up the layers and uncheck, we can remove those, yeah? So we can remove the yellow and just keep the black lines. And you can start to see how you can build up layers and build up really cool things. Let me show you something else. So I'm going to click on layer 1 now of the banana. And you guys love me saying banana, don't you? Banana, banana. Now, out of these options here, we have something called Alpha Lock. So I'm going to click on Alpha Lock, and you'll notice, see where that layer is that we've selected with the banana? The banana. And behind the little picture, see how it's a checkerboard? Where the layer up, what do we got? I can show you here. See where the picture is there? It's now a checkerboard. That means we can actually, within the picture of the nana, we can add a different texture or color. Check this out. And you can go within the line. So just say I'll choose this color here. And let's go in and choose something like textures. What do we got? Charcoals, elements. No, not that. Some airbrushing, textures. Yeah, let's choose one of these textures here. I'm going to turn the opacity down. And I'm going to make this small. And now if I draw here, look at that. It's only appearing in the nana. Because I've chosen this alpha lock. So I can draw outside the lines and it's not going anywhere else apart from there. So you can do your shading and stuff and know that you're not going outside the line. Now, if I go back into our layers here and press here and turn off alpha lock and try to do the same thing on this side, you can see it's going outside the lines and we don't want that. That sucks. So there you go. So you can do some really incredible things with the alpha lock on. So that's really awesome. Let's, we've got a banana. That's cool. That's cool. Shall we draw some lines? Let's talk about lines, yeah? I'm going to go back to our black color, or we'll choose this color here. So if I draw a line, we'll choose, go back to our inking brush, our syrup brush here. And we'll bring you back to this screen. So if I draw a line here, want to do a really straight line, it's not very straight. Yeah. So I can try my hardest to draw. That's kind of straight. Right. I'm getting there, Jim. I'm trying to cover as much as I can. We've got plenty of time. If you're gonna hang, we've got plenty of time. So if I draw a line but I don't lift the pen, watch what happens. Look at that. It's made a straight line for us, and I can move that around wherever I want. That's really neat. And if I add one finger to the screen and move it around, it locks to get a really nice, like a magnetized position. So that's really cool. You can get some really straight lines by using this technique, and I can let go. So there's a straight line there. We can do the same again. It's locked for us, and we can take this one, and it's made a triangle for us. Once again, I can come in and grab this color, drop it in, and we've got a filled in color there. Really simple to do, yeah? We'll leave that. You can also do that with shapes. So let's do a circle. If I do a circle and close it and keep it held down, look at that. It makes a perfect circle for us. And I can stretch it out. I can make it smaller. And again, if I hold down a finger, you'll get a perfect circle out of it, yeah? Really nice stuff. You can do it with squares as well. So just keep it held down. And there you go. So you've got a nice little square there. You can do it with triangles. You can do it with a whole bunch of interesting shapes. Whatever you want, you can kind of go, yeah. And it'll do that as well. And you can stretch that out again, put your finger down. So really cool to make shapes like that. We'll remove that one. Cool beans. Yeah, really nice stuff that you can make these really nice shapes. Also, what you can do, where am I up to? Where am I up to? What am I doing? Let's cover as well. Let's cover chopping some stuff. Let's jump straight into this. So up the top here, you have some toolbars as well. You have a selection tool. And when I click on this little S up the top, a little toolbar is given to you down the bottom here. And this has some features like automatic, freehand, rectangle, ellipse, and a whole bunch of things down the bottom that change with your selection. Now, if I've got free, so this is a selection tool. Now, if I want to take this triangle here, and I want to move this somewhere, I want to move this triangle. Now, I forgot to, I'm putting all these on the one layer here. So that's okay, because I can show you, this is what's cool. So if I just want to take this triangle, we'd hit our little select tool, and because I've got freehand selected, I can just draw around this like so, close it off, and now I hit the little arrow up the top, and now I can move this wherever I want. So you can pick these things up and move them around wherever the hell you want. You can resize them like so. You can move the actual framing of the item around. You can spin the item around just by grabbing the little tool up the top. And then down here, you also have a bunch of things like flip horizontal, flip vertical. You can rotate through here. You can fill canvas. So you've got a whole bunch of ways to move these around. You can even actually go in and change the whole shape of this. So we're in free form here. And you can do this with your fingers as well. So that's cool. Now, we're in free form. Now you can go into uniform and change things as well. But you've also got, check these out, these distort sections. So you can go in and really distort the crap out of these. Totally change the size of them. And you even have warp options. So down the bottom here, we have a warp. And you can fold things over. Look at this. You can actually fold that over. You can get crazy and create some really nutso stuff here. Look at that. And at any time, you can hit reset. and bring it back to exactly how it was. Yeah. Now, I've unfortunately put this on the same layer as my banana. So I want to get rid of this. I don't want it there. So let's select it again. So I'm going to draw around this. And now I want to actually move this. I want to take it to, so I can copy and paste this. So let's try that, shall we? So I can hit copy paste and it'll paste it into a brand new layer. So now if I click up the top, it's created a new layer from selection. Great stuff. So now I can go in, I don't need this anymore. So let's go in and select this and just get rid of it. Now there is a cut copy as well. So now in here I can actually, where do I find that? I think it's automatic. I can't even remember how to do that. Clear. That was the selection. Let's try that again. So you can actually, or you can actually just remove it. Yeah, you can delete it. Where are we? We're in here, select. I can't even remember how to do it. It's been so long. So long since I used this app. What the fuck? let's just use the eraser. Yeah, that'll do. Where are we? So we want to be on this one. What I'm going to do is just get rid of that so we can see what we're doing. I'm just going to erase this. Boom, gone. There we go. So I can do the same with the triangle and the circle. We can create new layers for those as well, just by selecting them. Now you have different ways to select. So you have rectangle selects. So you can go in and I can, oops, let's unselect that. You can choose rectangular. So I can draw a rectangle around this. So you can, I've got color fill in by accident there. Damn. Man, I'm losing the plot. This is so hard to do with a camera overhead. Man, this sucks. All right, let's undo that. We'll go back to freeform. Let's go back to freehand. And I'm just going to draw around this circle. And we'll move this. So we'll do a copy and paste. Goodbye. So that now has gone to a new selection as well. What do we want? We don't want, I've inserted an image there as well. Damn. Let's go in there. Choose the eraser. Let's get rid of this. We'll just erase this out of there for now. So now we have our circle over here. We have our triangle. We can move these around at will. I'm just going to go and get rid of the square, and we don't need this. We'll leave the square and triangle as they are. So yeah, imagine if I had the mic in my face. It'd be a hell of a lot worse. It would suck. It would really suck. So now that I have this selection, I can actually move this around whenever I want just by hitting the tool. Oops. Let's reset that. So now I can move this around, change the size, move these things around. I can go to the circle, hit move, and now I've got more room to do more things here, yeah? So that's super cool. Where am I up to? What am I up to? Shall we draw something else? We can draw something else if you guys like. Let me check my notes. I'm sold on this wireless mic. Is it the one that's close to 200 US? It is the Rode Go 2. That's what it's called, Leela. Now, I shouldn't have drawn these triangles over this banana, but it is what it is. You know, it is what it is. So let's do some text. Let's write some text as well. So we'll go back over to our black here. We'll choose black. Then we'll go to our layers. We've got a new layer here already. So I'm going to write something in here. I'm going to write banana. There you go. Because you guys love it so much. So I can go in here and I can actually mess around with the text too. So if I'm not happy with this text, I can choose individual letters and change these. Again, so we're on the right layer. We're on the banana layer. I can select like this letter here. If I want it to be a bit bigger, then I can make the letter bigger. I can remove things from it. Then I can unselect. Then I can select the whole thing. I moved around. Oops. What have I done? I should be naming stuff. Let's undo that. Da, 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 da. Let's remove the banana. La, 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 la. I need to add a new layer. Sorry, guys. This is really hard to do. A show live. You don't understand how hard this is to do. Sucks. I'm going to choose a different brush, actually. We'll choose this tinderbox. I'll write banana again. No. There we go. So we've got it selected. We can select the whole thing and move it around wherever we want. Change the size of it, all that kind of stuff. Super easy to do. Again, I already showed you how to like change the letters, so we can just draw freehand in here, move letters around, do space, all that kind of stuff. Let's talk about, so again, I can flip, all that kind of stuff. Bring it back. Cool. Let's add another layer here. We'll cover some animation in this episode as well, very briefly. Let's talk about some smudging tools and stuff like that. So, we'll focus on our banana. God, I'm never going to live there. I need a drink. Can you guys chill so I make so I have a drink and a vape? Let's save this. Alrighty. I want to show you something really quickly while I'm having a vape. You can actually animate stuff as well. So very quickly yesterday, I made this. So I made this little birdie in an egg. And look. He's bopping up and down. He's bopping up and down. You can, not only can you just draw amazing stuff, you can animate stuff as well. Really, really cool. Super simple to make too. And you can change the speed of this. So you can go in and change the speed. Now he's going mental. See you, Gary. Safe journey. I'm just going to have a drink. Ah, dear. You can change the frames per second. There's some really amazing options in here. So let's get rid of that. It's not only just drawing. You can add videos in this as well. Yeah, and photos. Let's jump out of here. We'll start a new project. Just another quick new project. So you can import photos. Yeah, up the top here where the spanner is, you can add things. So let's cover this. You can insert a file. You can insert a photo. You can take a photo and you can add text. So yes, you can add text. And what's really cool, you can import your own font files as well. So you can add your own font files. That's brilliant. I really love that. Let's insert a photo. So shall we insert this thing? Boom. So we've got a photo now we can insert and play around with this. All the same functions you can do as you would with a normal image. So that's super cool. You can change the size, go in, select a part of it, portion of it, and change it around. You can do all the like the warping, all that kind of stuff. Everything's exactly the same as what we've previously looked at. And all these things too, like the warping, rotating, and all this distorting and all that, there is a reset button here that you can always go back and fix if you weren't happy. We also have a snapping tool in here, so you can turn on magnetics, and you'll see this will snap to portions of the actual of the page. So that's another handy thing. But if we click on snapping again, you can actually turn on snapping, and this will snap more so to the middle. So if we turn on the magnetics, this gives you the option to snap to the middle. So, and you can do that with everything. Yeah. Another good thing you can do, with this is insert an image and then draw over the top of it. So you can start off by, let's remove this layer here. We'll delete this. So you've seen that we can, where are we? Oh, we just swipe and clear. Oops, we'll leave this clear. So just say I want to draw, I don't know, a horse, yeah? So let's just grab a pencil. We'll grab this inking one. We'll turn this down a little bit. So I'm just going to draw a cartoon of a horse. It's probably not going to look like a horse. Give it some hair at the front there. Give it a neck and a mane. There you go. There's our horse. We'll give it a, I don't know, we'll give it some teeth. There's our horse. So immediately, I don't like that because I'm left-handed. I've drawn that and it's kind of wrong. So immediately I can go into our select tool. And I can freehand around this. Or I don't even have to do that. I can unselect and just hit this select. And now straight away I can line this up. So we'll turn off the magnet. And now I can shape this to exactly where I want. So it's straight. And what you can do with this, what's really cool, is this is your outline. So now you could go in, create a brand new layer and bring this up to the top. So you can shift things around. So you can grab layers and move them around. And you can group layers as well. So I'll show you how to do that in a second too. I'm sure I'm missing a whole bunch of things, but this again is just a basic kind of walkthrough of the things you can do. And then we can take the opacity of this by clicking on it. Opacity, maybe. It's in here. So we can turn down the opacity. So it's just really faint there. Yeah. So then I can actually go over this and actually paint something and fill in this or fill in this stuff as well. So I could, choose a color or just choose whatever color. It doesn't really matter. So now I could go in here and start to actually fix this up and paint within the lines. Something like that, and then fill that. Oops. There we go. And start filling all this in. And now I'm covering up the hair. But you can bring this back. So you can actually go in and go over your image. You get what I'm saying. I hope you do. And start to create a painting over this outline. And then you can remove the outline later on. Where are we? It's that one. And then you will have your I'm doing it on the wrong layer. What a dick. Get it together, dumb shit. This is the one we want. Where are we? Go in here. Did I get rid of all that? That's what we're doing wrong. There we go. Let's get rid of these colors. There we go. So I'd have to do it on this one. We can fade this out like that. Choose our second layer. And here's where we could paint inside these lines and start creating our image. And this original outline can be deleted later on. So this is our stencil that we're following. And you can do this with photos as well. So you might import a photo of like a strawberry or something, and just as a guide. So a real photo of a strawberry, and then just draw over it. And so you can follow your stencil and all that kind of stuff. Anyway, I'm not doing a good job of drawing today. Normally I'm much better than this. But this is... I'm not even in the camera. I should move this camera so I'm actually in it more. There you go. I'm still out of shot. That's all good. But yeah, you get the idea. You get the idea of what's going on here. Hopefully. What else can we cover? Let's just talk about some blending and stuff, yeah? So you have options over here in adjustments up the top. So you can actually change the hue and brightness at any time. So I can go in and change the hue and brightness of this, the saturation and the brightness. So anything that's on that layer, you can go in and do this with, which is really cool, really handy to have. We can make that nice and bright. We can change the color, all that kind of stuff. You also have in this toolbar color balance. You also have things like curves, gradient maps. You also have blurring as well. So I can take this color and I can blur it out. See that? And you do that by going left and right. I can do this, I'll show you with the actual image. So we'll take out the color and we'll bring up the opacity of this image, and then we'll go and hit blur. And as I draw across, it blurs the actual image. Yeah, you're absolutely right, Jim. There's so much potential in this app. It's just crazy. So you can blur this all the way out. You also have things like, so you've got a motion blur as well. We'll go back in and turn that down, or we'll make it worse. Again, 2 taps will bring things back to undo. You also have perspective blurs that you can mess around with. Move the focal point of the perspective blur. You also have some really other cool things. I love these. So you can add noise. Let's go in and find. Also, you've got glitching. So let's go back to our banana. And we'll let's show you how to group things together. So I'm going to bring down this layer 2 here to sitting above layer 1, because that is the black part of the banana, as you can see, and the actual banana, which has all those blue lines, which suck. But I can actually group these together. I can join them together by pinching the 2 of them together. Now they're one. See that? So now they're actually one and the same. That's really cool. And now I can jump in here and use things like glitch. Oops. If I selected it, it would be even better. So now, damn, what are we doing here? So, all right, now we've got glitch selected. Hang on, let's go back. Glitch. Are you selected, glitch? Glitch, select for me. It's not selecting. Why is it not selecting? I don't know why it's not selecting. That's odd. Make sure we got the right. Oh, we have the wrong. There we go. So I can select glitch, and you can glitch out all of this stuff too. So you've got heaps of really cool effects in here. You can change the amount of the glitch, the size, the zoom. So you can do some pretty incredible stuff. Let's go back. Again, we have things like half tones, blooms, sharpens, noise, all this kind of stuff. Let's look at Liquify. Liquify is really cool. So you have all these effects down here like push. You can push things out. We'll go back. You have a twirl. So you can twirl things out left and right. You can see you can go crazy with the twirl. And I love when you when you hit the reset. Watch this. I love how it goes back. That's really sick. You can pinch. So you can pinch stuff. Keep scribbling in. So you pinch it all the way in. Reset. You can expand. Grow things out. I mean, there's a lot of crazy things. You can do crystals. So you can see it crystallizes the more we draw around it. Edging as well. You can reconstruct as well. So if I just draw over this, it reconstructs the banana. You can adjust the strength, and you can hit reset to bring it back to normal. See you later, Mr. Smith. I know we're going a little bit long today. I want to get as much in as I can because Joe's been on my ass for ages about this. And with each of these things, you can change the size, the pressure, so how much pressure you add. So you can see I'm adding a lot of pressure for this pinch. You can add distortion, momentum. So there's a whole lot of things you can add to this. Third-party effects. No, there's no third-party effects. There's third-party brushes you can add. So there's plenty of third-party brushes. But again, you can make all the brushes yourself. So, but, you know, if you do enough of a search on YouTube, you'll find plenty of channels who have some much better tutorials than what I'm giving you here today. Trust me, there's some Much better ones. You've even got a clone tool in here too. So you can hold this just like any other clone tool in Photoshop, and I can clone this banana. Never going to live down the banana line, am I? So you can clone it. Nice stuff. Let's try the bloom. When we add a bloom to this. So going left and right adds a bloom effect in there. What else do we have? Let's show you something else, because this is really cool too. If I take something like this triangle up here, let's go over to this triangle and select this. Now, earlier we showed you some of these things, these tools in here, yeah? So the masking, we used alpha lock before. The alpha lock was for inside the image. Let's choose the clipping mask and see what happens. What happened? It disappeared. So our triangle disappeared when I chose the clipping mask. Now, I can't remember how to use the clipping mask. That sucks. How do we do this? The clipping mask isn't in there. I'll have to get back to you on that. There's too many things I've got to remember in this fucking show. What else do we have? So there's our pointer. We've done chopping and stuff like that. Let's add some text, because you can add text. There you go. Whoops. Now remember, with text, you can actually write the text in. So you can write hello. I'm pretty sure this works. And it converts it into text. So now if I hit the little arrow, I can move the text around. See? So just by writing, and we can change the size, and we can go in and we can actually change this text. So you can write more stuff. Hello, you. And it should, does it? Yeah. So you can write text in with your pencil, change all the size, all that kind of stuff. You can chop certain parts of it. So if I want to take this J here, now I can actually remove this if I want. So now it's selected. I can actually go in and move these J's around, so you can split the letters apart. Really, really cool. Oh, yeah, you put stuff underneath. That's how you do it. Yeah, I forgot. We'll get there. Thanks, Audible. There's so much to remember. So you can go ahead and do all of this. You can select. And remember, you've got different select tools. So you can do select tools like rectangles. Yeah. So you can select with rectangles. Clear that. You can select with ellipses, circles, ovals, however you like it. And we'll clear that one. Freehand. You can do freehand. You can do automatic. Let's take this letter J here with a freehand and just draw over that. And let's... and we can go and move this to wherever we want. We can delete it. I've turned it upside down. So you've got a whole lot of different options you can do with these. How did I make the bird thing? Was there anything else I need to do in here? I'm probably going to call it a... so you can cut and copy. Here's where you find your cut and copy as well. I'll go back over here to this camera view. So here's where your cut and copy are. You can copy canvases. In these actions, we'll cover what's in here. So you've got canvas. You can crop and resize the canvas. Yeah. You can do all that kind of stuff. You can go into the settings and you can go in and change the size of it. You can resample the canvas. You can add snapping and rotation. Or you can reset the canvas. We'll cancel out of that. Also, you have this Animation Assist. This is where you actually do the animations. So we'll do that last. I'll try and remember how to do it. Page Assist. Let's so we've got some... Oh, we've actually got the animation set up. We don't want to do that yet. So you've got a drawing guide as well. Let's talk about the drawing guide. So as you can see, when I hit drawing guide, you get these lines up here, these grids. And if I hit edit drawing guide, now I can go in and change the type of guides that we have. So this is our grid. And again, you can go and change the opacity. You can change the thickness. You can change the grid size to your liking. And you can turn on things like assisted drawing. Yeah. So you can turn on assisted drawing. We'll cover that in another episode, I do believe. That'll work. You've also got numeric. So this is like a isometric kind of thing. If I could zoom in on that, there you go. Make that a bit thicker so you can see what's going on. There you go. You also have perspective. So if you're doing 3D stuff, you can do the perspective drawing. And you've got symmetry. Shall we cover symmetry? Look at this. We might do this in another. We'll start a brand new thing with this. Let's jump out of this. Create a brand new project. And let's look at this symmetry. So we're over here in Drawing Guide. We'll turn this on, Edit, and we'll go into Symmetry. This is super cool. Check this out. Whoops. We're going to leave that in the middle there. Hit Done. So you're matching whatever you're drawing on. So isometric, there you go. So pretty interesting stuff you can do with that. If we go back into the Drawing Guide here with Symmetry and hit Options, we've got, I think it's rotational. Is it rotational symmetry? Is that it? Or is it radial? I think it's radial. So now we've selected radial. Check this out. This is really, really cool. Oops, hit Done. So now, just by drawing, we'll show you that with a actual pencil so you can see what I'm doing. And I'm just drawing around in a circle. And you can create some really interesting things like this. We'll do black. Sweet. So you can really create some super interesting things. We can remove that. Change our pencil, because remember, you've got so many different things you can draw with. How cool is that, yeah? Just from nothing. Absolutely nothing. We'll try another brush. Try like this thing here. And remember, it's all to do with the pressure you're putting down too. So if we start light and then add pressure, and then change the thickness, maybe change it to another. I'm just choosing random brushes at the moment, so yeah. That's not going to work, clearly. We'll use this water one, maybe, or these. So that's pretty cool. And you can change your colors as you wish. What else do we have? Like charcoals here. So you can create some super, super interesting things using the views here with the Drawing Guide. We can turn that off now. And then, you can add another layer to this if you want and get, the sky's the limit. It's ridiculous how cool this app is. Again, you can flip horizontal, the entire canvas. You've got canvas information, which tells you about everything here, what's going on in your canvas, the height, how many layers are used. So you've got statistics, maximum layers, how many layers you can use, how many you've used, layers available. You've got 89 layers available currently, it says in this project. Assisted layers, it gives you all this information, color palettes, video settings, statistics, super good stuff. If we jump back out of here and open up our banana, go back here, and we'll turn off the grid. There we go. Let's check out this video, because we've done so much work on this now. So if I click on video here and hit time lapse, let's see what it does. This was from the very beginning, everything we've done today on this project. It's just wicked. And now you can actually go in and you can save this if you like. So you can save your video. We're on video now, and you can actually export this. So here it says export to timeline, export video. So you can choose full length or 30 seconds, and you can just bang. And now your video can be exported to wherever you like. We can save it in the Save Video to our Photos app. Jump out. Really cool for making like video clips, all that kind of stuff. And there's our video ready to play. And you can change the speed of it. So super cool. And yeah, as Leela's put there, export it into LumaFusion. Make some interesting things just by whatever you've drawn. It's really cool. This app is just, for $10, it's nuts. It's so good. Whoops, I've opened LumaFusion. That was smart. Let's go back to my chicken because I want to show you. So we'll try and animate something and then we'll wrap it up, yeah? Create a brand new project. See if I can remember how to animate. See if I can remember. So we've got our color palette still here. I'm going to choose black. Oh no, we'll choose, let's choose this one. This will do. Now, what I want to do is choose a pencil. In fact, we'll just choose a just a inking, typical inking. And how do I do this? I can't remember how to do this. If I now draw, man, I can't remember how to do it. I can't remember how to fucking do it. Shit. My brain's gone absolutely blank. How do I do this? How do I do this? Whoops. See if I can get my shit together. And layer. Where are we? Invert reference. I can't even remember how to do this. Let me just show you with my egg already. Is it in here? I think it's in here. Select. Yeah, it's in here. So if I, let's do this. Let's do this. If I draw like this and then take it off, take my pencil off, we'll show you this again. So I'm going to undo that. I'm going to draw now. Oops. I'm going to hit select. I'm going to draw like that. And then I'm going to put some dots in, and you can see it's created a little egg, a little shape there. And now if I hit color fill, that has created this little shape. So all I did there was use select. We'll do that again. So I'll show you again. Just undo all that. So I hit up the top here, the select, and I drew this little point here, dot, 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 dot. And because I had color fill selected, I've created this little egg. So I now want to draw a little chicken in there. I'm going to redo what I did earlier. So we're going to choose, oops, leave that color there. I'm going to need to create another layer. So here's our layer 2. And we'll choose, we've already got our syrup. I'm going to bring the size of the pen down. I'm going to draw the head first. It's not very good. I want to use black, actually. Black. So we'll do a head, and I'll hold down so it becomes a perfect circle. Then I'm going to draw a beak, and I'm going to draw the body of the chicken like so. Now you see I've gone over the lines here. Let's fix that up. Let's go all the way down here. So the body of the chicken is now sitting above this egg. I don't want that. So I'm going to go over to my layers. I'm going to grab this chicken and drop it underneath. So now our chicken is underneath, and I should be able to, on the layer of the chicken, go in. Because the lines have actually been filled in, I should be able to auto color this. Oh no, that failed. Let's look what went wrong there, and I'll show you what went wrong. So we'll get rid of the egg. So you can see it's not joined properly. So now if I go back to black here and just make sure this is joined, should be joined now. We'll head over here, drag our color in. There we go. Now we'll drag our color into the head. Now we can come and draw an eye if we want on the little birdie. So let's do that. So there's our little birdie. Yeah. And now we can bring in the egg layer. Now we have a little birdie in an egg. Now, how do we animate this? Because we want to make this animate, and we want to make it go up and down like the previous one I had. So again, I'm just going to keep it very simple today. The first thing we're going to need to do is group these together, these two images, right? So we're going to need to group them. And the way you group them is very easy, I think. I can't remember how to do it. First, let's create the animation section. So we're going to go into, where are we? Time-lapse recording. We want to go in here and hit Animate Assist. And now it's brought up this toolbar down the bottom to animate. But if I hit play, it's jumping between the egg and the bird. If I slow it down, it's jumping between the egg and the bird. And we don't want that. We want the bird and the egg to be one. So if I can remember how to do this, it would be really cool. Let's go in here, and I think we do it by grouping them together, but I can't see. I didn't want to do that. Let's get rid of that. And this is how you do it. You can select multiple items, multiple layers. And to do that, you drag your pencil like that. So now we have two layers selected. If I move, so now one, and if I swipe like this, you can see they're both colored. And you'll see a little group has been added up the top. See that little group? So I'm going to click on that. And now these have been added into a group. So that is our group. And now I'm going to go back down here and I'm going to add a frame. So now that I've added a frame here, I need to create a brand new group. I need to put this frame in here. So we've got, how do I do this? I think I duplicate. I can't remember how to do this. It's been so long. It's been since yesterday. Holy shit. Settings. Now, I think it's in here. No. We want to, that's what we want to do. We want to actually duplicate. We want to pinch these together. Let's go in here. We want to pinch these together. And now we want to duplicate this. Where is it? Where's duplicate? Why can't I find duplicate? Oh, dear. Man, I'm losing the plot today. How do you ungroup? I don't even know how to ungroup. That's terrible. Anyway. How do we animate the birdie? Dude, why am I having such a hard time today? So we need to copy this over to here. Let's copy. And we can't paste in there. There you go. Oh, we can do it here, can't we? I think. Where are we? There we go. That worked. So we've got a second group here. That's not going to work. Maybe we can go in here now. We'll take this one, and I shouldn't have grouped this together. That's my. I shouldn't have done that. I should have. Oh God! You know what? I'm going to give up today. Do you know I've had 3 hours sleep? Can I call it a break? Can I do another show on this in a week's time? Anyway, here's the bird. Let's look at it animating. How did I do it? So here we've got two groups. We've got this group here and we've got this group here. So that's how I did it. And I just moved one of them back and forward. It is what it is, guys. And that's how we did animation. There you go. Hit play. Easy. Done. You know what I'll finish with? Let's remove the background. And I'm going to save this. We're going to go into save. And now in here, I can save this. We can go into share. So let's cover share, the last thing for today. You can share images as Procreate files, PSDs, so Photoshop images, PDFs, JPEGs, PNGs, TIFFs, anything from a JPEG or PDF down to TIFF, that will flatten the image. But you also can save animated GIFs like here. So we've got an animated GIF. I can choose this now, and there's our animated GIF. It's got a transparent background, and I can hit export, and I can export it wherever the fuck I want. Yeah? Fuck off, Joe. I can export this wherever I want. Do you know where I'm going after this? Straight to bed. 3 hours sleep. Fuck this. Alrighty. But we'll do another show on this. Hi, Dave. Hope you're doing well. You've come right at the end where I'm buggered. Where I've been talking way too much. So I can save this in a Files app. I can save it wherever I want. I can go over here to my documents. So I can save it in documents. And that now should be an animated GIF. But it's not animating in here but it is an animated GIF. So you can do all that kind of stuff. Guys, let's be honest. Procreate is sick. It is really, really cool. There's so much you can do with it. And I promise the next time we come back and have a look at it, we'll get a bit more serious. I'll spend a bit more time refreshing my memory. And maybe I'll draw something like this. Next time I'll actually draw something a bit more serious. Because, you know, this is something, there's my horse that turned into a dragon. So, and we'll talk about color blending, because it is possible to do stuff like this. So there's amazing things you can do with it. So I don't think they offer you the layers in this, but yeah, you can do some really incredible stuff with this app. It is absolutely full on, you know, importing photos and all that kind of stuff. So I hope this has somewhat piqued your interest in Procreate, because it's wicked, it's great, it's only $10. It's absolutely worth your time. Images, videos, whatever you like, you can use it in LumaFusion, use it in your photo editing stuff, and it'll blow your mind. Good stuff. Tomorrow we're going to be recording some music. No photo stuff tomorrow. Music. Good stuff. All right, guys. Hey, thanks for hanging out. Remember, Pete Johns is up in half an hour's time. He will be doing GarageBand Weekly. He'll be talking about the Apple event and all that kind of stuff. Once I finish this stream, there will be an option for you to go over and hang out with Pete straight away. So that's cool. Reality says, I also make PNGs with transparent backgrounds and drop them into Canva. The two are great. Yeah, absolutely. You can do all that stuff. It's just amazing. And I can't believe it's $10. It really is. They're ripping themselves off. All right, guys, remember, do the things that make you happy. Mistakes make you better, and we all rise together. Sorry I dozed off at the end, but we'll do another show on this really soon, and we'll do some more serious stuff, and I'll be a bit more prepared. All righty. See you later, guys. Enjoy whatever it is you make next. Bye-bye.